Hello everyone and welcome to Sinful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the Grey. Today's video we're going to talk getting started with Warhammer Age of Sigmar, and today we're taking a look at the Disciples of Tzeentch, and in particular, the Occult of the Transient Form subfaction. Now, in this video, we're going to go through and talk a little bit about the special rules for the subfaction, what units we recommend to get started with for the subfaction, and then look at some other units to expand upon after those initial purchases for the subfaction. We'll then finish off the video with a little sample army list of 1,000 points for you to use as some inspiration for creating your own Disciples of Tzeentch army using the Cult of the Transient Form. And so, you can find the rules for this subfaction within the Disciples of Tzeentch battle tome, which is found inside the current brand new battle tome that is coming out this weekend. Now, the rule you get for the army is you roll a dice each time a friendly Karak Acolyte model is slain in combat. On a 2 to 5, before removing that model from play, that model can fight, which is pretty nice. However, on a 6, before removing that model from play, you can add one Zango model to a friendly Zango host unit within 9 inch of the slain model. This new model can only be set up within 3 inch of an enemy unit, though, if the Zango host unit it's added to was already within 3 inch of an enemy unit. So pretty cool, you're turning your Karak Acolytes potentially into Zango, you potentially can make your Karak Acolytes fight on death. Definitely a Arcanite heavy force we're going for here, and you were going to have Zango and Karak Acolytes. And so, to get started with, I really like the Zengo Sharma for this. It just fits the theme of what we're going for. You know, a Zango cult leader turning all his disciples into Zango. On top of this, he's actually got his own cool spell called Boon of Mutation, where you can add models to a Zango unit by killing your enemies. You target an enemy unit, you do D3 mortal wounds, and you can add that many Zango to a friendly Zango host unit, and this will allow you to go above maximum of your Zango host unit, but it won't allow you to add any special models to the unit, such as a champion or mutant. Now, on top of that, it's a 1 cast, 1 unbind wizard, has a disc, so it has fly and pretty fast moving. It's got a 4-up save and a decent amount of wounds, what you would expect for a hero of its size. Now, to go along with this model, Zango are the place to start. They are really nice. They've got a lot of different weapon options they can take available to them, which is cool. But they can also have a couple of different weapon options as well, and a couple of different unit upgrades, which are really nice for the Zango. Now, they've got some cool rules as mentioned. So the Ornate Totem rules allows at the end of the combat phase, if a unit has any icon bearers in it, you can pick an enemy unit within 3 inch and visible and roll 1 dice for each enemy wizard within 12 inch of this unit. For each 4+, the enemy unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. And that standard bearer there will give you the Ornate Totem rule. And you've also got the ability to get a mutant for some extra attacks. A musician will give you run and charge on the unit. You can have your Arcanite shields in there to get some 6-up ward saves. And you also get +1 to wound on the charge as well. Looking at where to go next though, and Karak Acolytes are obviously the next port to call. We've got Zango, so now we need some models to turn into Zango. So a Karak Acolyte unit definitely is a good shout. These models, like the Zango, have a couple of different weapon options from dual wielders to Arcanite shields, providing them with a 6-up ward, or they can have the glaives, which are a little bit more punchy. They've also got the option to take a Scroll of Dark Arts, give them +1 to cast a Dispel, which is really cool. The unit actually has its own spell and as a wizard, so contributes to your fate point pool. And how this works is they get to add an extra point of rend on their shooting attack with their Sorceress of Bolts. The Volchark is also nice and can actually target and do some damage to enemy wizards. Now, we then have the 2 elite version of Zango. Zango Skyfires are a ranged unit that can punch out some mortal wounds at ranged, and they can also ignore negative modifiers to hit and wound made with their missile weapons, and ignore positive modifiers for save rolls to the enemy unit when they're shooting their missile weapons at them. So, some really solid buffs there to the unit. I really like them. The fact you can't sort of negate them in any way is so. And then we have the Zango Enlightened. They are the elite combat version of the Zango. Much more punchy in combat, a 4-up save. Their Vicious Beaks hit and wound on a 3, which is nice. And then they've also got the ability to get some extra buffs in there as well. Lastly, though, we have the endless spells for the Disciples of Tzeentch, and no Tzeentch army is complete without grabbing their own Disciples of Tzeentch endless spells, because you get to summon one for free at the start of the game, so long as you've got a wizard on the table. This can range in a variety of abilities, from direct damage dealing, turning units into chaos spawn all around the table, friend and foe, or potentially giving your wizard some buffs when you've got the Tome of Eyes near them. All are really solid and decent options to have available. And so here we have our sample army for the Cult of the Transient form. Now, the mortal realm we've gone for is Jamon, a nice little bit of narrative there, it's where Tzeentch is mostly powerful, and then the grand strategy is Master of Destiny. I really like this grand strategy, it's one of the Tzeentch specific ones you can take, and how you complete it is by having an amount of Destiny dice that the total value of said dice is 9, at the end of the game. So you can effectively, you roll a 4 and a 5 at the start of the game, just put those 2 Destiny dice to the side, never use them, and you can't fail that grand strategy. For a triumph, we're 25 points under, so we're going for the +1 to wound on Inspired. Really great if we potentially can get it and are in a protracted combat with our Zango, as they only get their +1 to wound on the charge. And then a Zengo Sharma is going to be our leader. This is going to be a general. Command trait is going to be Tol Getmagog, where anytime it rolls at double to cast, it is automatically cast and cannot be unbound. And you also generate 2 fate points from that. Arcane Tome for an additional cast, and the reason we've got that is because we always want to be dealing the damage with our Zengo Sharma, and then we've also got a glimpse of the future to ensure we're not running out of dice to spend on Master of Destiny at the end of the game, or indeed to spend during the game, so we're not having to make that choice between one or the other. For the battle line, we've got 2 units of 10 Karak Acolytes, and then a unit of Reinforced 20 Zango. This is going to be our big sort of blob, and then we've got 3 Zango Skyfires there as a little bit of additional support. Lacking a little bit in the range damage dealing, we've gone for the Demonic Simulacrum as our endless spell that we're going to summon at the start of the game. Core battalion wise, we've gone for Expert Conquerors, and we put all 3 of our battle line units in it. I really like this because effectively it means those Karak Acolytes are going to turn into Zango and then can count as 3 models when they go into the Zango, or indeed when you're using your Zengo Shaman to do his Boon of Mutation spell, adding to the Zango, you're actually adding models that count as 3 on objectives. So some nice cool little play there. 78 wounds in the army, though there is summoning on top of that, and 5 drops. If you've got some ideas for a Cult of the Transient form army, let us know down in the comments below. And so that is the end of the video. We hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our cool little community here at Sinful Gaming, you can do so in our Discord server, which is linked down in the video's description. If you'd like to help support the channel, you can do so either by joining our Patreon or YouTube members, both of which are linked in the video's description, or going over to our channel merch store and grabbing some channel merch for yourself. We'd like to give our Patreons and YouTube members a special shout out for helping support the channel and allowing us to keep doing what we're doing. So a special thank you to our Patreons, Christian Weir, Soren, Kenny Lowe, Outer and Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, The Rising 8, Cure Dynamic, Anthony B, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, Derek and Bloobs, and to our YouTube members as well, Green Roots Gaming, Kenton Young, Ronya, Lock Lorick, The Johnny84, David Ellsworth, Wolfric Nick, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Revenar, Pink Nico Fire, Robin Mankiller, Monty's Tabletop Terrain, John Castle and Davis Weir. And a special thank you to Lady Witchfox at the end here, because she does all the amazing artwork for the channel. It looks stunning. With that said, thank you all for watching once again. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the grey. Ciao for now.